Well, I'm very pleased to see all of you. You are very numerous. I think 180 registrations, which is really something very special, especially in a field in which Assistance Publique Hôpitaux de Paris was not so well known to have a kind of leadership. But we are all convinced of the important issue of health economics in a mega hospital structure like Assistance Publique Hôpitaux de Paris. I would say AP-HP, if you don't mind, for the English-speaking people. AP-HP has proposed, together with Paris School of Economics, an innovation in creating, by a joint effort, a chair called Hospinnomics, which stands for Hospital Innovation. I like the word innovation. And economics. I don't like very much economics, but I will be used to. I'll be forced. Anyway, indeed, most of the French research budget in medicine or in biology has been focused mostly on biology, pharmacology, imaging, novel therapeutics, and so forth. But very little, to tell the truth, in human sciences, social sciences, and also in health economics. And therefore, we have certainly a weakness in France in these disciplines. For three criteria I would like to mention. First of all, Avison, which is the Alliance for Vie et Santé, INSERM, CNRS, INRA, INRIA, and so forth, when they looked at 80,000 publications during the last year, only 1.4% are in the field of public health in general. Secondly, AP-HP has made also a survey of the number of its own publications referred in CGAPs. You have between 8,000 and 9,000 publications a year, and only 4% of those are dealing with public health, computing sciences, economics. So it's a limited number. And third, I think it's also something which is important to consider, the little attractivity, and that a euphemism, for the career of public health among our young residents. If you look at the residents, what they choose in first, they choose radiology, they choose cardiology, they choose not obstetrics, Serge, but they choose many disciplines, and at the last, unfortunately, they choose public health. We have to change it. We do have to change it because it's an important issue. We realize very well, and I'm speaking as a clinician and as a practitioner, that we cannot go always like if there were no issue in terms of health economics in our practice. We need training. We need understanding of this discipline. We need vision. I think we really need vision in health economics, which is not given during our medical training for most of the cases. For the first time, there is an innovation here with the creation of such a chair with a very ambitious and novel project. And I'm very pleased to have been offered the presidency of the Scientific Advisory Board. We sat together this morning with 7 health economics colleagues. I learned a lot of things in something like 3 or 4 hours. And this will be the beginning of an adventure which will be led by Lise Rochex. For the first time, really, a chair in a hospital structure is created with Paris School of Economics, with a university or an academic system. And the work which will be done by the chair has been preceded by a very serious benchmark study, and of course, a scientific proposal has been proposed to the members of the Scientific Advisory Board who have examined this proposal. There are two goals for the chair. First, to produce a policy-oriented research, and the second goal is to contribute to evidence-based decisions. During my short life as a MD, I learned evidence-based medicine, evidence-based public health, and now we are going to evidence-based decision. Evidence is a strong word in English, and we have to face it now. Now, these questions actually will be discussed during this afternoon meeting. The chair has 4 missions: research, decision support, dissemination, which is very important, I believe, especially in the medical world, but also in the public, of course, and training. Training is absolutely essential. The governance, as I said, is made with a scientific advisor board, which reports to a steering committee to which belongs Martin Hirsch and Pierre-Yves Geoffard with their collaborators. Now I realize we have challenges to face. First, we have to bridge the gap between health economics and decision makers. I would like to add another gap, which is between the medical community and the health economics specialist. I mean, we really need to have a common language, which requires time and training at the very beginning of medical school. We discussed this morning with Alberto Holly of the experience in Lausanne, which is a wonderful experience, unfortunately, very limited, but very fruitful. Second challenge, we have to evaluate and to be very seriously advisor for the cost efficiencies of all the technical advances in our medicine, in our today medicine. We discussed this morning of imaging, robotics, medical devices. Medical devices are not evaluated like a drug. There's a big discrepancy. This is a huge market, and yet no evaluation made within the hospital. We have the challenge of evaluating new structural organization of the hospital. This is quite important to evaluate ambulatory care, one-day hospital, and many other possibilities. I said I like innovation. I think experimentation comes with innovation. We should not hesitate to elaborate protocols, randomized protocols, to evaluate these new structural organizations. We have to challenge the time. The time of a researcher is not the time of a decision maker. It's not the time of a politician. We know that. And therefore, we will have to give time to time, but we will be also responsible for quick answers to the questions which will be addressed. Finally, we have also the challenges of the incentives. Should or can they be designed to increase health economic impact on decision-making processes? This is really the topic of this today meeting. If I want just to conclude, I would say it's a great privilege to live in a hospital structure which is able to propose in an innovation way to answer key questions and to be fully supported in our thinking and hopefully progressively in our decisions. I thank you very much, and I leave the word to Pierre-Yves.
Thank you, Pierre. So it's a great honor to be here, and it's also a very great pleasure to be here for this event and to start this, to launch this first major event of the Hospinnomics Share. So Pierre already said many things. So as you know, this is a partnership between AP-HP and PSE, so AP-HP and PSE. AP-HP is a very ancient institution, it's a venerable institution. PSE is very young, so it's a wedding between two, a bride and a groom. Don't ask me which is whom. Of very, very different ages, but we know that good partnerships rely on some form of diversity. So this is one of the ingredients which we believe will make this partnership profitable. It's, as Pierre said, the main objectives for this chair is to foster policy-oriented research and also to favor research-based or evidence-based policy. Many programs at PSE share these two objectives. In particular, all the programs which lie under the umbrella of the Institute for Public Policy, and we also have some training programs like the Public Policy Masters program, which have really this focus in mind. So we know that it's doable. In other areas than health, we know that it's doable. We also know that it's very difficult. Nothing is obvious in this if we have these objectives in mind. But we know that some of the key ingredients are trust building between the different types of institutions, between policymakers, decision makers, and researchers. Trust is important. It's important to build trust. Trust is not something that can be created just in 1 or 2 seconds. We need to learn each other's language. We need to learn each other's objective and understand that these objectives are not always the same. They are not always aligned, but they can be aligned on some projects and with some objectives. So a long-term partnership is very important if we want this to work. As Pierre also mentioned, the difference in timing is a major issue. The timing for decisions is not the same as the timing for research. Research takes more time, usually takes too much time if we have the decision-making calendar and the horizon in mind. So what's the issue? The issue is to anticipate. To anticipate what are going to be the key issues for decision makers in 1 year from now. Okay, so if you have some very good forecasts about that, please come to us. This is what we intend to do: build trust, learn the other's language, and this is going to be a very exciting and a very fascinating project. So I also want to thank a lot Lise Rochex, who really got totally involved in this project, and without whom we wouldn't be here this morning. I want to thank, of course, Martin Hirsch, who was at the origin of this project, and when we started to talk, and when Martin said, "Okay, do you have some ideas about how we could foster research useful for decision making?" And also good research, which published in good academic journals, and say yes, I have a couple of ideas. We should definitely discuss about that, and the very fast, I think, very soon, very rapidly, we also discussed about Lise. So Lise was on board at the very start of the project, and without her energy and commitment, again, this would not have been possible. So thank you, Martin, for this evidence of trust. So I hope we will deserve it. Again, there's some evidence in the past which says that there is not too much ambiguity that research takes time. We all know that, but that research can also be useful, and especially when it's done as seriously as we can. So we believe in evidence-based policy. We believe in policy-oriented research. We know that some of these issues may rely on randomized experiments. This takes lots of time. This takes lots of energy, and but it provides very, very good evidence. This is somehow the Rolls-Royce of evidence designed to illustrate policy. There's other tools, other techniques, which are, some of them are less expensive and provide some good evidence. So we want to address all the different ranges of these in this area. So as Pierre also said, so Pierre basically said everything. So I don't want to be too long. It's a big success. So we had to open another room. So I say hi to people in the other room. Thanks for joining us. Thanks also to AP-HP for this place. This is a wonderful place, and I hope I'm sure we're going to have a very exciting afternoon discussing about the major issues. You have the program, and I think we should move along to the first panel session. And again, thanks to all of you. I should have said just one thing. The chair is as you know, a partnership between AP-HP and PSE. It's a very how to say, flexible and open feature. It's our objective is not to build a close partnership, but this is a very light disposal. So we are very open to collaborations from lots of different groups, lots of different universities, and of course there is no. I wouldn't say not yet. There is no faculty of medicine within PSE, and we need some discussions, and we need some to build some joint programs with medical doctors and health researchers from all different disciplines. So this is going to be a very open project, and the fact that many of you come from not only economics but from other, at least those whom I know, from other disciplines, but all of you are interested in this in health policies, is, I think, a very good sign that it's going to be it's going to be very exciting. So I think we should move forward. I give you. I think we will meet again in next year. Probably there will be one such event regularly. Don't know exactly if it's going to be in 1 year or more. And certainly I don't want to. This will be discussed. But I hope that, again, as I said, what's important in this kind of project is long-term, is commitment, is making sure that that we end up speaking the same language, and the next question, the next table is we will discuss whether health economics research is having an impact on policy. So we're going right at the very heart of our questions and interrogation, how you say. So okay. So again, welcome to all of you, and we should move to the next panel session. Thank you.